welcome to the News Review program. I am Fatou Kamara and I'll be sitting in here with Omar Wali, and later on Kex will join us for some analysis. And we will begin with what we have coming up for you. The Gambia government forfeits Jammeh's assets that will be coming up. And December planned protest causes panic in the Barrow inner circle. Top political scientists proffers way forward. These and more coming on today's show, but we'll first start with the papers. And also in Senegal, we're getting word that the brother of President Macky Sall, Alioune Sarr, has resigned. He was the head of the Deposits and Consignment Funds, and his office is responsible for investing on behalf of government on both public and private projects. But meanwhile, as you know, Alioune is the mayor of Guédiawaye in Dakar. And the residents of Guédiawaye are also out in the street protesting against his resignation. Right now, the resignation letter is being sent to the office of the president, awaiting if President Macky Sall will approve the resignation of his own brother. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the newspapers before we go into the analysis and everything else. And GAF arrests 6 soldiers and 2 absconds, and that's on the point. But we will start with the Standard newspaper, where General Martin was sent on leave and 6 officers have been arrested. And it reads that the Brigadier General Alhaji Martin of the Gambia Armed Forces has been on administrative leave, military sources told the Standard newspaper. According to sources, and this is the Standard quoting their sources, they said Martin has in fact been on leave since May, as he started working on his appearance at the TRRC, where he was several times mentioned adversely. He has been sent on administrative leave over the TRRC matter since May. We also got word that some soldiers are also arrested. Avoid electing a bragging president, and Dabo tells that to the youths. The United Democratic Party leader, Ousainou Dabo, has urged the young people of the Gambia that come 2021, they should go for presidents who would listen to them and find solutions to their problems, and not one who will brag about himself. Addressing his supporters in Burfoot Sunday, Dabo said the youth must take stock of the situation in the coming years to ensure that they elect a president who will be sensitive to their problems and not a president that will compete with them. I guess it looks like he's referring to President Adama Barrow. Recently, there's been a lot of talk that he brags too much. NAM's clash with GRA over Banjul Breweries and tax hike. It says National Assembly members and the Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority, Yankuba Dabo, were involved in a heated debate over the controversy's new tax policy. And we have Kemeseng, who's here. I'm sure later he will dilate more on this. He's the National Assembly correspondent. So that says the government introduced the excise tax on domestic alcoholic beverages from 10% to 75%. That's a huge difference. A policy which the country only Banjul Breweries complain in killing their business and puts them in dire straits as they threaten to close operations. And 100 million KMC waste collection trucks unveiled. About 20 new garbage collection trucks are unveiled at the ceremony presided over by Mayor Talib Bensouda of the Kanifing Municipal Council on Saturday. Addressing the gathering, the mayor said the vehicles are part of the Mbalit project. Under the project, each of the 19 wards in the region, as well as the hotel and industrial areas, was allocated a truck to collect rubbish on a daily basis. The communities in the area will pay about $100 a month. Mayor Bensouda further revealed that the project is the first of its kind in the history of the Gambia and took them 9 months of hard work by 3 council committees, 26 councillors, 19 ward development committees, 2 lawyers, as well as hundreds of youths who made this project possible. Government reports progress in achieving the NDP, as a National Development Program, right? Going by the outcomes of the second quarter retreat of top government technicians and administrators this weekend, the Director General of the Strategic Policy Delivery of Coordination Unit, Mr. Alaji Nyangado, has revealed that significant progress are being registered by government in achieving the goals of the National Development Plan. About 24 permanent secretaries and other senior government officials from various ministries gathered in Tendaba camp in the Lower River region Wednesday for a 3-day retreat. And the point is the same as well. The GAF arrests 6 officers, 6 soldiers, and 2 absconds. And lawyer Usainu Dabo denounces corruption at senior level. Brigadier General Martin suspended, and Gambia's 4 soldiers trained at War College. And I would now hand over to Omar, where he'll bring you reports.
Well, President Adama Barrow has revealed in 2017 that former President Yahya Jammeh has stolen an estimated $4 billion from public funds. But according to Organized Crime Reporting Project, President Yahya Jammeh has orchestrated the embezzlement of nearly $1 billion of public funds and illegal timber revenue during his 22-year rule. The former president is accused of looting the treasury in a long-running conspiracy that crippled the country. But is the Gambia government aware of the full extent of Yahya Jammeh's pilfering of public funds? Well, the FATU network has been finding out.
The documents analyzed by OCCRP show a web of fraud that far exceeds the figure offered by the Barrow government. According to OCCRP, Jammeh and his associates looted or misappropriated at least $975 million. The organization says Jammeh and his associates stole $363.9 million from Gamtel Gamcel, $325.5 million in illicit timber revenue, more than $100 million in foreign aid and soft loans from Taiwan, $71.2 million from the Central Bank of the Gambia, $60 million from Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation, and $55.2 million from GAM Petroleum. Jammeh is also accused of plundering major accounts such as the International Gateway account of $363 million through secret contracts, $43 million from the State Aircraft Fund to purchase a luxury jet, buses and vehicles. He is also accused of stealing $466,000 from the state security account for entertainment, travel, payment to his favorite wife Zainab, and other expenses. Jammeh and his associates are also accused by OCCRP of embezzling $35,706 from a fake Office of the First Lady account, $4.5 million from the National Youth Development Fund, which is funded by revenue from a 10% fee on fish caught by trawlers in Gambian waters. So what is the Gambia government doing to recover some of these monies that were suspected of being sent to foreign shell companies, about which little is known?
Tracking and recovery is a very sensitive matter, and people have the ability to move assets around the world. And we are cooperating with several governments. I am not at liberty to disclose the nature or the identity of those governments. Otherwise, I risk endangering the process of recovery because those assets can be moved very quickly. And let's remember that the assets recovery effort outside the Gambia are not, unfortunately, within our control. They are on foreign territory. They are subject to foreign laws. And we can only rely on the goodwill and support and cooperation of those countries where some of these assets are.
Jammeh's manipulation of the central bank may have violated several of Gambia's laws, including the Government Budget and Management Accountability Act of 2004, the Social Security Act of 2010, and the Public Finance Act of 2004. His assets have been forfeited to the state, but he is yet to be charged of any crimes.
Now, it is almost 6 months to the planned protest against President Adama Barrow's ambition to stay in office till 2021. But the much talk about proposed demonstration in December has caused a quiet stir in President Barrow's inner circle. More in this report.
A group calling itself Operation 3 Years Jatna is poised to spearhead resistance to ensure President Barrow make good on his promise of relinquishing power come December 2019. They insist President Barrow must step aside in December as he earlier promised. But the Gambia government is not taking lightly threats of protest rallies to force the president out of office at the end of this year. The government has already acquired a vehicle that is earmarked to spray hot water on would-be demonstrators in December, according to the Interior Ministry. Other members of the Barrow Inner Circle were making reference to the bloody April 2000 student protest that led to the massacre of 14 unarmed students. Proven to be an issue of delicate national issue, many are of the view that threats against Gambians in the exercise of their constitutionally guaranteed rights is not the way forward in dealing with the planned December rallies. President Barrow, however, insists that his mandate to serve 5 years and no other threats would deter him from completing his mandate.
Ale mandate mendina constitutional mandate la wodi constitutional mandate loi le o sembo de mo ko do dole bobu ndetal la jande for 2021 adiyaro me kumbuga ndejam for 2021 amandiya me kumuna hari ndejam for 2021.
But to Dr. Ismail Assise, a better approach such as convening a national conference to iron out the difference caused by the coalition agreement should be convened and now.
As soon as possible before December. Why? Because, yes, the constitution says 5 years. But we have to understand, we have to be very, very careful how we approach this 3 years, 5 years thing. What we don't want to have also is a political vacuum. There is no precedent. There is no provision in the constitution. The only provision is if President Barrow resigns, voluntarily, the vice president continues the residue of the term. That's what the constitution says. So that is one option. But now to avert a situation where people are coming out and the government is forced to respond with force, to avert that situation, to avert a national crisis, a constitutional crisis, a power vacuum, I think it is apt for the country to have a national dialogue, a national consultation on this issue. It shouldn't be left to the politicians alone. Let all stakeholders come, religious leaders, civil society, the diaspora, academia, media, politicians, political parties. Let us sit on one table as a country and define a path for this country which is in the national interest. If after this dialogue, it emerges that the national interest is for us to leave Barrow to serve his term of 5 years, then we will accept that, but then he must not run after that 5 years because that will be against the spirit of the MOU and the spirit of our democracy that we fought for. So there must be some dialogue. There must be some give and take. I think it is very dangerous for Barrow himself to come out and say, whether you like, I'm going for 5 years. That was not the language they were using.
Be as it may, the planned end-of-year march of resistance against Barrow can bring the country to the brink, if not well managed, says analyst. Jaka CCJT reporting for the Fatu Network News.
A 4-day training workshop for senior officials of the Gambia Police Force got underway today at Paradise Suites Hotel. Organized by ECOWAS through the assistance of German Government Partnership Support, the training is aimed at supporting Gambia Police Force in consolidating democracy, security and stability in the Gambia. Jaka Sise Jaita reports.
The workshop that began today at the Paradise Suites Hotel is aimed at raising the competence of senior officials of the Gambia Police Force as part of efforts in consolidating democracy, security and stability in the Gambia. Deputizing for the ECOWAS country representative to the Gambia during the opening ceremony of the workshop, Mr. Claude Kondo explained that the training is the latest in a series of engagement organized by ECOWAS for the Gambia Police Force.
You may wish to recall that a workshop was conducted here in Banjul from 27 to 29 August 2018 with the Gambian Police Force, civil society organizations, the media, and other relevant stakeholders to strengthen the role of the police in democratic consolidation, security, and stability in the Gambia. Among other specific objectives, the workshop was conducted to assess the capacity and the role of the Gambian Police Force in promoting accountability, efficiency, effectiveness, responsibility, and responsiveness to the needs of the people, and to foster a good working relationship among police, citizens, and relevant stakeholders in the Gambia. This was necessitated by the political stalemate witnessed in the country and made more complex with a high level of poor perception of the Gambian Police Force by members of the public. Of note was the political bearing of the Gambia in relation to the respect for democratic tenets and norms, as well as the respect for the rule of law and human rights under the former regime, which was unattractive. The citizens' perception of the Gambian police was negative, and if left unchecked, may invariably mark their confidence in and support for the Gambian government, since the police operation is at the basic level of interaction with the people. During the last workshop, many recommendations were made for the Gambian government, for the partners, and for the ECOWAS Commission, to which ECOWAS is here again to implement one training program for the Gambian police force, namely the Gambian Police Force Strategic Commanders Course. The Gambian Police Force Strategic Commanders Course aims to enhance the capacity of the Gambian Police Force senior management in areas of democratic control and police accountability, police strategic planning, human rights.
That was the police training workshop at Paradise Suites Hotel. After the news review, we will bring the full story. And on the line now, I have Fatoumata Sandeng, the daughter of the late Solo Sandeng of the United Democratic Party. Fatoumata Sandeng, welcome to the Fatu Network. Hello.
Thank you, Omar.
I know you are busy today, but
Omar, I said thank you.
All right. Fundraising has been going on for your family to complete the house your father was building. So how do you feel about this GoFund that is ongoing at the moment?
Hello to everyone that's listening. And yes, the GoFundMe is on, and then some generous and very good-hearted Gambians have started the GoFundMe. And just like they said, finishing my father's dream house, which he was building before he was tortured to death. And then they deemed it necessary that that project should be finished, because at least my father wanted to make sure that we had our own house that we lived in. And I feel so touched, let me say, that at least some Gambians think that it is genuine, because if I would say what was very, very important to my father, it was this one thing. He wanted to finish the house so that he could put his family in there. So people having that thought and thinking that they could do something to make sure his dream comes true is something so touching to me. And I'm so grateful for everybody who's contributing towards it, and everybody else who's putting everything they have or any input they have in it.
Okay, you said they contribute, but what is your family's position as far as this contribution is concerned?
Yeah, sure. We had worked with Tukulorsi and others who wanted to set up the GoFundMe, and then we endorsed that they can go ahead with it, and we are fully behind them, and we agree for them to do it, because it is a project that we all were thinking of how to complete, and then we had no other way. Like many know, it is very hard for the Sandeng family to come out, in the public asking for anything. But then we were advised by those people that, well, you might want to keep your dignity and everything, not to ask people. But this is something, like when the reality is reality, I am not in the position to finish right now. My father would have been, because he is the breadwinner of my family. But his life was cut short, and then it was pending there. So to be realistic, we wouldn't have any means to complete the house right now. And then being out there renting all the time is somewhat more, let's say somewhat harder than having something done once and then the house being completed. So we thought it's a good idea, and we endorse it.
Thank you so much, Fatoumata, for your time.
You're welcome, Omar.
That was Fatoumata Sandeng there, the daughter of Ibrahim Solo Sandeng.
Well, thank you, Omar. I just want to talk to the people a little bit about this Solo Sandeng fundraiser. I think it is very important for every Gambian to contribute to this. It is a project that is a very worthy one, and I have seen that the Gambians are doing very, very well with the fundraising. I think right now they're about $9,000. We can definitely do more than that, because remember, Solo put his life on the line for all of us. So it is very important that we keep donating, and Momodu Kurubari, of course, is doing a great job, and Tukulorsi. And everybody who donated, you're all doing a tremendous job. Keep doing that. you all know $10,000 definitely will be about 500,000. So definitely they would need more than that. So even if we go up to the 10,000 limit, let's keep donating. And if you live in Gambia, you want to give cement, or you want to give Bero or Banco or anything else that you want to give to help build Solo Sandeng's dream house, don't hesitate to contact Tukulorsi or contact Momodu Kurubari. If you don't know their number, please call me. I will send you their numbers. I have both of them, their WhatsApp numbers. So mbokay lu ñuy wax rek moy Solo Sandeng dafa jël bakkenam mu tek ko ci line bi ba ñun ñu am li nga xamne am nañ ko bokk na ci ñoo xamne nak contribute na trop ci démocratie bi ñuy enjoy ni lolu kenn mënu ko bañ te kenn mënu ko ci génné. So lu ñuy wax rek moy fundraiser bu mu ngi am gaangi amangum $99,000 te yeen xam ngeen ne $10,000 sa du xaalisu bari pour fii pour sampa kër. Lu ñuy wax rek mooy su dee yéen da ngeen bëgg a joxe xeer wala da ngeen bëgg a joxe yeneen bagage wala peinture wala suuf ngeen call su ko defee su ngeen amul number Tukulóor si ak Mamadou Kurubari man su ngeen ma callee ñoom ñëpp am naa seen WhatsApp number dinaa la ko jox su ko defee ngeen wax ak ñoom woto mbaadi won quand même fo drong wala Solo Sandeng na kooti nga fundraiser le wulindi wala Mamadou Kurubari anin Tukulóor si ito le ñim fundraiser ke amam me adi wala botala no ta fo Omar Wale ko family ñi yakala mutale ko ñimbe kela andu tolie kango di le ko e alzi continue no ale ñin ko ke solo la korda me ngaya tu jang because alfa lafta me ne dingole tare fan sun su kono abe wala ko ke kan nung ala nata ke amanna me abanta ya to chofo ya fa men keta solo la ko to be ngawlonne so quand même fo sain ko pour mobe mako ngam bulo fay nyoka ngi sa jala bungo si pare afanna dimbaya si bo loi so kono itasi so kono oto me ko do soto isitano go fon mi to même man la fi ko do di la fanan berole bete buluban bankole be buluban cimentole be buluban pentrole be buluban newole be bulu rots bang fengo fe me alon ko ka sulala pour bullola nal man Tukulóor si contact no ani Mamadou Kurubari na lente contact jang wala Omar Wali wala Kemeseng Kex mo nale momo contact jang be la nomba di la lale ala baraka bake.
Thank you so much for that. You know, you make a good PR for that.
No, Solo definitely. Solo's case, Omar, is a very, very sad one.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's start.
I will add my voice to encourage each and every Gambian to support this noble cause because what Solo has contributed to the democracy that we have. You look at the electoral reform, it's not only the party that he emerged from.
Yes.
They enjoy that electoral reform that Lola don't fight. Solo was part of people who are calling for even other sport counts and everything. And thanks to those sport counts, alhamdulillah, we were able to defeat Jame here. So he's somebody who Sola like this noble cause, we should all contribute towards it. Then I'm encouraging every Gambian, irrespective of our party affiliation, we all support this noble cause and it is worth to be supported.
And you said, you know, it has nothing to do with party, like you mentioned, because when Solo went out, he was not in a UDP t-shirt. He was wearing ordinary clothes, no party colors. So everybody should definitely support this fundraiser.
Thank you, Kex and Fad. You know, his case was similar to another person in Kenya. He's called Dedan Kimathi.
Yes.
He was also fighting against the colonial masters and he was arrested, he was tortured. When he died, he was buried somewhere in Kenya until in 2010, and so when his body was exhumed and he was given a befitting burial. So now, let's start with Senegal.
Yes.
You talk about Gambia, but let's talk about Senegal for a moment. You understand that the Director of Communication, Hamidou Kassé, has been moved to the Minister of Culture.
Yes.
But Aliou Sall, the brother to the President, Macky Sall, also tendered his letter of resignation.
Yes.
He's also the mayor of Guédiawaye.
Yes, he's the mayor of Guédiawaye. And since the BBC Panorama report, there has been a lot of pressure on them that Aliou Sall should resign and that he should face the law, because a lot of people refer to that as a huge corruption that they said President Sall has always been fighting against. So now that his own brother is caught up in it, he needs to resign. So there were talks about his resignation. Some said he would resign, others are like he would not resign. And today he came out to make an announcement. And in the process of that announcement, the people of Guédiawaye, remember, like you rightly mentioned, he is the mayor of Guédiawaye. They came out and said, no, you're not resigning. We don't want you to go. We still want you here. But there are other people, especially the opposition, who are calling for his resignation. So he decided to put in his resignation today. And right now it is awaiting the president. We don't know if the president is going to accept it or the president is going to say, no, you're not going anywhere, you're staying put. Because if you listen to some of his interviews, he did mention that, yes, Ali is his brother, but he's also from Senegal. He has a right to work, and he mentioned that Ali was working at the petrol department or something, and then he asked him to leave. And then he got another job and he asked him to leave again. So he did mention that he cannot go ahead asking him to leave every time he has something to do. But just to say that his office, he was the head of the Deposit and Consignment Fund. That is responsible for investing on behalf of government on both public and private projects. So that has a lot of budget, a lot of money in there. So now let's wait to hear what the president will say.
But this thing did not only tint the Aliou Sall, but his brother as well, because most people are saying this thing was not done in a proper way, because Macky is the president and his brother doesn't have any experience in petroleum, whatever he's in, and he's been given that responsibility. Every month he's given $25,000.
Yeah. Well, Omar, I mean, if you look at it, what is $25,000? Well, I mean, $25,000, a president does $25,000 for president. I mean, that's no money. I mean, even they pay
$25,000 for Aliou Sall.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Omar, I mean, didn't they say that he got this contract when Abdoulaye Wade was president? I mean, these things happen every day. How many times in this borough government, how many people are there given jobs that they cannot do?
No, let's talk about Macky Sall.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. How many government? Everywhere, even in America. I mean, you have Kushner doing all this kind of responsibilities that he knows nothing about.
Jeremy Kushner is so
you have Trump's...
You sound like you're justifying.
No, I'm not. That's different from justification. What I'm trying to say is, every day we see people. How many times do we have people walk into the Fatu network and say, I have no experience, but I want to do media? And then we train them, right? So just to say that he was receiving $25,000 and he doesn't have any experience, I think that, you know, I'm not sure about that. And I also don't get why people are trying to put Macky Sall in this. Macky is not Aliou Sall. They're two different people.
Fatu, but people came here, they said they want job, but they don't have experience. These are people close to you. I turned so many people down because I asked them what
qualification. So you are the bad one.
Yeah, no, because I know how sensitive this job is. So you go to Fatu Kamara, you cannot say no. You come to me and say, what experience or qualification do you have? So is that not the same way? Because I turned so many people down.
Yeah, but they're telling you that he got this when Abdoulaye Wade was president. It was not when his brother was there. It is true that, of course, the influence, when you see someone who is close to the president or related to the president, you think they would do the job better because they have all the connection. But again, how is that his brother's fault?
Of course, the brother, somebody, you know, we know the former mayor of Dakar has been sent to jail for similar thing, corruption.
Yeah, so but he came out and confessed and he said, yes, I took the money, but this is what's been happening here every time.
So I only hope that the government also will launch a proper investigation, investigation into them, like what happened to other people in Senegal.
Yes, I think they should investigate that. And I just want to say one more time, because each time I talk about Senegal and this issue, most of the people come out saying justification. I'm not justifying anything. I know wrong is wrong. But what I'm saying, I don't know why people are linking President Macky Sall with this. Macky Sall is not Aliou Sall. These are two different people. Macky Sall is the president. And you cannot tell me for $25,000 is what both the president and his brother would be, you know. That's definitely not that much money.
Now let's come home now. There was a rally and the leader of the United Democratic Party said, avoid electing bragging presidents. So Davo tells you, that's what is on the Standard newspaper. So
I will let Kex start with that. Kex, the president said that, lawyer Ousainou Darboe said that the youth, he said to the youth that we should avoid electing bragging president. Who do you think he's talking about?
Actually, in this circumstance, I think...
he didn't mention any names.
He didn't mention any name, but automatically it is clearly said in our Mandinka, ne kumo bulaka bale waling. And we know now, right now, the relationship between the UDP camp and that of the Barrow camp. And Barrow has ever been, caught saying and bragging about he, atele jatofa, akiline jatofa, no ate jatofa la subodi fonkol duola. So it's a kind of way of bragging. So Ninada Moy, the opposite side of Barrow Law in a platform and say that we should not elect bragging president automatically tells you that he's talking to Adama Barrow directly, because we have heard of this war and war between the two parties. So automatically it is that. But for me, I always say this and I keep on emphasizing this. Let's talk about politics of personality or attacking people. Let's talk about policies. And the last time when I had Dabo was saying, for them, when they are in power, they will make sure that they work into how to terminate corruption in this country, which has been a killer disease in this country since the independence up to today. I said, now they are talking about policies, and this is what we should talk about instead of, garawalling each other. It doesn't help us. It doesn't develop this country. For me, let us, battle of the 21st century is the battle of ideas. Let them come with their ideas and policies. We debate over it, and the Gambian people will decide. Because now in this country, nobody will be fool again. To vote somebody whom you know that will not address your needs and your aspirations of this country. It has to be policies, and never think that you're going to sit at your corners with only your manifestos and you said, I have a very good manifesto. You must come and defend your manifesto to the Gambian people that this is what I can offer, and you will be questioned by people who gather at that place. You convince them based on policies and program. And the earlier they move from politics of personality, attacking each other, the better for them. Because Gambian people are listening and they are, getting down every word of any politicians, and the day you decided to offer yourself to serve us, we will judge you according to what you have been said in the previous years.
But before we go back to Omar, I just want to say the bragging that Barrow does, he got that from the UDP. Of course, they all brag a lot. Yeah. When this change came, the UDP was out saying, oh, we did this, we fought this, we did. They make everything about themselves. So it's just family. I think he got it from them. I think that's also one thing that they need to understand. But am I lying?
No, that's the fact. What
yeah, they've got the Omar. No, I want Omar. Wait.
No, I'm not saying you are lying. Yes, yes. That is his political home.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Yes, so
everything he's doing, he got it from there.
Yeah.
So now Dabo should have taught him that he should have stopped his people from bragging. Because everything we talked about, the UDP were the first to come out here and say because of them is the reason why we have this change. Yeah. Even though they know that a lot of people died, they know that a lot of people struggled, they know that a lot of people contributed to this change, but they made it about them. So their son now is bragging.
Their son is bragging now, but
yes.
Looking at that as well, you also mentioned about the parties talking about policies. So this is something new, I can say. Although most of the parties talk about issues that they are doing, but this is something common. Is your party? I know you're not speaking for your party, but do you also foresee your party doing something that this is what you will do? Because Doi has been accused of being there for decades and people still don't understand. But now UDP started something. Are you going to see other parties also do, or what do you want other parties also to do when they go to rallies, instead of attacking individuals, instead of saying things that this is what we want to do for you, these are our policies and programs that we have for you when we take up office?
Yeah, that should be the politics. When we talk about politics, politics is about programs and policies that will liberate the people. Because the responsibility of any government or sitting government or somebody vying for being a president or any other position, your position is to liberate, to promote the general welfare of the citizens, and that cannot go without the policies and the programs. And it's only good programs and policies that can liberate this country. You look at the health sector, and this should be our, topic of discussion anywhere we sit in political platform, wherever we meet. We should talk about the policies that will liberate this country, that will move this country for 54 years. We don't have good educational structure. What is your programs in educational structure? It is in our constitution that basic education should be free and accessible. But any government that comes, they will tell you this is not, we cannot apply this because of the economic of this country. People must pay school fees. And this is the law that says that basic education must be compulsory and it must be free. You must come with a policy to address that. So all these are policies that we should talk about. You look at the health sector of this country. How are you going to? It has to be policies. And, this should be our discussion. And the party that you mentioned that I am not talking on Doi, but I have seen them. They are the party so far since they have established. They are talking about policies that can liberate this country. The others are just victim cards. You either talk about what you have suffered in the 22 years or what you have been doing. But you look at this, which political party so far can say that this is the project that I have implemented to show the sample that if my government is in place, this is what I'm similar to this, I will do more than this, but to show them the sample. You don't see it. And these are the things that you should say. A sitting government should not just sit down and fold your hands and wait until you are given the opportunity. But you have to create avenues whereby it will help the other governments. You have to contribute your quota to the national development by even establishing schools. By constructing bridges and other things. You can even do that. Come with a cooperative, empower the humans, empower the youths. You can come with all these policies. And we have seen, other parties have engaged. But you look at some parties for 22 years, 24, they cannot show you even a single project that they have initiated in this country. And you say that you want to be a government. How can you convince the people? You must show them that this is what I can offer. But I'm not giving the opportunity right now, but I am starting from this. And people will judge you based on that.
But from what you are saying, which means it's only GDC that is doing that. That is building, constructing few things for people, including boreholes and so on, and even clearing or using excavator to clean gutters. They are the only one doing that, and they are not in office yet.
Yeah, GDC.
So which means that it has to start now from opposition. So which means if GDC is out there, they can tell people, yes, when we were opposition, this is what we did. And when we are opposition, this is what we are doing. If we go to office, we will do more than that.
Yeah, I've seen so many. It's not even about the gutters and other things. When the Kuntaur incidents happened here, GDC was the first political party that visited before even the government will take a step. And I applauded that step, You should not just be wait because I'm not in the government. Then if anything that you can offer to the country, it is your responsibility. Because at the end of the development of this country, is our responsibility. Either you are in the opposition or in the ruling government. But if you talk of GDC, you will, for me, that I know, is either GDC and DOI has been doing it previously because they have created schools here that have been educating people here. They have created newspapers that are employing people here. And, they have created a cooperative whereby they have given farming equipment to farmers in the provinces.
PDOIS?
Yes, they have.
But the only problem is their message. It doesn't resonate with people.
No,
and
people...
they've been trying for so long.
No, pardon me.
So I think that is something that they need to revisit. I know it's not you, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking on live media so that they would know. I think they need to change their message. I mean, if you have been giving the same message for over almost 30 years, right? Over 20 years, and then now the message is still not resonating with people, don't you think it's a good idea to think about how to deliver this message?
If there is there any problem? Because if there is a problem with that message, will you join them?
This is the problem.
So some people do understand it, like Coach and the Keks. And, you all understand.
For me, I always disagree with people that PDOI's message, people are not getting it. But this is a very simple message. And, we have seen it during the difficult times when PDOI is trying to call the people and tell them this is the way. People understand the same language that they have speaking during the difficult times. This is the same language they are saying. They said our rivers should not be given to people. They just come and fish and take all our mineral resources. We said that we will kill them. This is the message.
No, when people see Halifa, it's like you see what they think is the message is complicated. They see Syria and they think the same. So I don't know how we're going to change that.
Fado, the problem of this country, no, the problem of this country is not about Doyle's message. The problem of this country is politics of patronage. Unless the citizens know that...
They've been saying that.
Yeah,
the PDOI has been saying that.
The problem of this country is nothing about the message of PDOI, but people believe in material minded to that extent that they will tell you that political manke buluken sound. You must offer me, and this is what PDOI is not doing, and they will never do. Any day PDOI offer somebody a budu to vote for him, that will be the day I'm done with PDOIs. And this is the principle I want PDOIs to continue. Either they are in government or not, and they will go with integrity and honesty for the rest of, and history will write that there was a political party in this country that has established until it's no more with integrity and honesty. If we stop there, I'm happy to associate myself with PDOIs. Politics should not be based on, yes, I want to be in position, and you can do anything to be in that position. And that is not PDOI's stand, and I applaud them for the stand they have taken. Even it has to wait for 100 years before they will be in power, but let them go with principles and morals.
We have all these different groups. I mean, PDOIS, yes, the message a lot of people will say is complicated. You talk about UDP, yeah, they will say they insult people, they harass people, you don't join them, you are Barrow Youth Movement, or you're something, and then Mama Kande, what is he doing? I have no idea. I see him go around, which is good. It's good that he's going around, but apart from that, what else is he doing? And then you talk about President Adama Barrow and his Barrow Youth Movement. They're all over the place. They're talking tough and they're beating chest and all of that. So, honestly, I don't know.
A journalist wrote this morning that I agree at GDC or Mama Kande and GDC. This is the only party that will also always respond whenever there's a disaster.
Yeah, that is true, because they did that with that other village. What was it again?
Yes,
the one that starts with K. There was a village that had a disaster, and Mama Kande went there.
Even in CRR, I was reading somewhere, they donated some cash and so on. And I think government should be doing more of this.
You know, Omar, here, the problem of our country, you know, people, we make laws and we didn't respect our laws. You go to the what do we call it, the Disaster Management Act. Yeah. It is very clear there, very, very clear there. You know, when disaster happens, what the government should do, the law says everything is clear. But I was in Woolly. You know, after 3 to 4 days, this disaster happened. None of the government authorities even visited that ground to know and assess. They will just go there. You know, before you even go there with a bag of rice, you must first go and do your assess study to know what do they need. But they will just take a bag of rice and go to the village and just give them. When actually maybe they don't need bag of rice, but presently they need corrugate seats. They want to build their house. So you must do first an assess study.
I just say, let me say it was Kunta Wood.
Yes, Kunta.
Yeah, so I just was saying Mama Kande is very good at responding to situations. But apart from that, I just want to ask you guys, maybe you know and I don't know. Apart from when there is a disaster, a situation, Mama Kande will be the first to go there. He will give bags of rice and cement. But apart from that, what else is he doing as a member of the opposition and digging boreholes?
I think Mama Kande can do more and more than what he's doing. If he has good strategies, good people, there are a lot of points he can score against Barrow. But it's unfortunate that it always comes late. If Kande can pay attention to some of this government is not doing. There are so many flaws, and that Kande can use on GDC and other positions can hold government accountable on that one. I think that is something. Although they are doing extremely well when it comes to helping people, whether it in terms of whether there is disaster or not.
He needs to be a real politician. He needs to come out and address issues. I know he does once in a while, but it's still not enough.
And for him to be open to the public, like where you have politicians and you are invited, stop, you know, delegating people.
He doesn't go.
You have to go and face the public. And Mama Kande, what I have observed there, after what we have said, he's doing wonders. But when it's come to appearance in the public, you know, to face the Gambian people and tell them, whenever politicians are invited, he either delegates somebody to go. And for him, he should face, because he definitely need to face the Gambian people and tell them this is
what he does. He dodge a lot. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't like to be in. Sometimes you, even for interviews and stuff, you would not. So the delegation, you would not find him. And they're talking about the brown envelopes. They said maybe we receive brown envelopes.
Where?
I don't know from where. But I just want to say that I make my own brown envelope. So I fix my own brown envelope. If I want one right now, I'll fix it.
You know, if you listen to the noise of the market.
Yes.
You won't buy anything.
No, they say if you want to stop every time there is a dog barks, you know, it would never stop. But then, Omar, what I just want to say, and it's to President Barrow, when Davo talked about bragging, I think President Barrow also seemed to be getting a lot of, I don't think he's getting a good advice. You know, being president in every part of the world, I mean, you are top there. You are like the #1 person. A lot of people will come to you and they'll not be telling you the truth. I worked at the State House. I was around President Jammeh, even though it was not a long time. It was 2011, 3 months, 2013, 3 months. Jammeh and I, we only do 3 months. But the fact of the matter is, the people around him were telling him all the good things in the world. You know, hey, but he did. Even if it is not funny, people would laugh. So I think what President Barrow needs to do, he needs to cut down on the chest beating a little bit and knows that it's the Gambian people that put him there. So what he needs to do, if he's talking to us, let him be frank with us. But no, people like myself are saying, if the Constitution says 5, we want you to be there 5. But you don't have to talk like that. The moment you start talking like that, you put people off. And if you put people off, Mr. President, that's not going to be good for you.
Well, this is common with African politicians. Yeah. Sometimes in it they will start with, okay, it depends on the people. Or if the Gambian said this, and now Barrow is saying it, talking in a different tone. Yeah. So, and the worst thing has to do with the threats coming out of the cabinet. Like many people said, this is something that you should condemn. You accuse Jammeh of all these things, but you're kind of doing the same thing. So what is the difference between you and him?
Yeah, I was even shocked. You know, Barrow is the president presently who established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And this hashtag in the Truth and Reconciliation is never again. Yes. And if you look at the contents, why we use the word never again is that things that have been violating of human rights, you know, violating of citizens' rights, you know, killing and the other thing. We say never again to this thing. But that the same president is standing before the whole Gambian people and say that whether you like it or not, I will do this, I will serve for the 5 years. This is very, very, very bad language from Adama Barrow as a president of this republic, who is saying that never again. Because it is very clear in the first section that any government that is ruling in this country, you have to drive your authority from the Gambian people. And you have no other purpose but to utilize or promote the general welfare of the citizens. So if you are to drive your power, because you alone, you doesn't have, but because of our collective powers, we gather it together and entrust it to you. So whatever you're going to say, it must reflect in the life of the Gambian people. You know, you must say what we want, but not what you want. But Barrow is telling us that whether you, the citizens, like it or not.
That's a very wrong approach.
It is very wrong.
He should never speak like that again. In Sierra Leone, the Minister for Education, I think, was talking about rape, and he said that the problem is women, the way they dressed. And it was very big on social media. Everybody was talking about it. And he had to come out, and he came out and own up to it and apologized. We saw the Interior Minister, the comments that he made. It didn't go down with a lot of people. Henry Gomez, even though it is said that he was misquoted. But all these things, they just let them die down. And Barrow misspoke a few times, and people thought that he would rectify it, only for him to come out again and say, if I were him, I mean, there's a guy who's a very humble person. If you look at him, he cannot even harm a fly. I mean, if you look at it, that's what I see. I don't know him like that. But what I'm saying is, when he speaks, he needs to watch that. You cannot be talking to the people like that. This is not Yahya Jammeh's time, and Gambians are not ready to take that. Jammeh was doing no. We are like almost 2 million people, and it's just him. So he needs to watch that.
Definitely.
Well, I think that's all we have today. But this reminds me, you know, I was traveling with somebody. He has a problem with mentioning the pronouncing Gejawai and Jamnyajo.
Gejawai.
Gejawai is not a problem. Jamnyajo. I cannot pronounce that. No, let me leave it.
No, I want you to say it. How does he say it?
Okay, I will say it because Kex, you know, Badu Kamara said she worked with Jammeh for 3 times.
Yes.
2011, hired 3 months down the line. Boom.
Yes. Yes.
2013, and when you ran away, we said this is what was on BBC.
Yes.
They said if there ever was an international award for machination or political intrigue, we'll certainly go to the Gambia at the time.
Yes.
Badu Kamara was hired. Boom. Came again. Anyway,
yes,
that's all we have for you today.
I saw the report. I remember that. But just to say that we want to thank you all very much, and everything we said here is our own opinion, right?
Personal opinion.
Yes, personal opinion. Thank you all.
All right. Till tomorrow then. Bye for now.
Bye.